Ah, thank you, man. Apparently, I hit the mute button when I grabbed it, so I appreciate that. So yeah, this is the Freedom Fighter, aka Freedom Gundam. This is on the Cherry Blossom. Dude, thanks for the let me know on the mic. That would be very frustrating to get into that. And it wouldn't be my first time doing that, but um, yeah. Anyways, Hunter, my dude, what is going on? I'm so glad that he was able to track down the Berserker Noble Gundam and that Crossbones too, man. That's awesome. Those are some pretty good finds. I'm trying to get this on here. So definitely the polycap on this little snug. Not too bad. I think it'll line up once I get on there. All right. So yes. Anyways, this we'll go through everything I just said where I was on mute. The plastic quality on this is about middle of the pack. It's not on the same level as like KK and JMS. However, it is solid. It's pretty stout for this kit itself. Yeah, I mean this Berserker is still pretty solid. I mean, I personally like that. I also like I'm always a big fan of the Exia models and everything when they're in their metallic Trans Am mode. Actually, but those are hard to come by too. All right. So we're going to pop this in. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not even seeing the crossbones on mine at least. Like you were making me want to go out, but it's freezing cold here, and I was like, I just came back in, so I was able to score. My find for the day, I would say, would be I was able to score two of the starter decks from the card game, the two new ones from the Radiant Flash and the Celestial Being. Yes, yes, the Build Fighters one, which I hadn't seen that one. I have not seen that one in my Hobby Lobby, so that's a good find. Hey Zach, man, what's going on, dude? All right, so trying to get this chest to bump in here. Oh, losing the pieces here. Thank you. I had been looking over. I had a couple of friends looking for me too, and I was not having any luck yet. So I was happy to find them today. But it is freezing cold here, so I was out and nice. Some some sushi and YouTube. All right. This back panel does not want to sit in there, right? Let's see if I can get this slide in. Give it a little bit of extra. There we go. Maybe. So I actually had one kit that was a fighter kit as well. All right, so this one's not working that way. Let me try the other side here. Um, it was an entry grade. Yeah, get out of here with your 80 degrees. There's wind chills going on for tomorrow. They're saying it's going to be in the negatives, and they're actually canceling several schools because it's so cold. But you and your 80 degrees, it must be nice. I don't know why I choose to live at a place that the wind hurts my face, you know. All right, so I moved around the backside of these polycaps here to hopefully slide it in. And there we go. So that made a better difference. It must have been catching on something. Perfect. Anyways, nice pink on that. I like that. It's kind of like this kind of it's more like a skin tone-ish kind of way. Yeah, Yeah, unfortunately, I know I have to be early to work, so I make sure no pipes busted or anything overnight. It'll be interesting to say the least, but I'd rather just come hang out with you in the 80 degrees. All right, so let's get this on this top section here. Nice blend. Little tight on some of the fitting, but it's all right. The There we go. There, perfect. Then we're going to go ahead and put in the sections here. So again, it is a little bit tight. However, it's very doable, I feel like, on the how it's connecting in. Yes. Yep. I was going to say, I actually, once you sent it to me, I looked it up just to make sure I was thinking of the right kit, but it is. It's got the beam cannon that comes out of his chest there. Hyper beam. Sorry, I'm showing my Dragon Ball Z a little bit, but yeah. So I mean, that's good. Like I said, I have not seen that kit at my Hobby Lobby, and I'm hoping to pick it up um, sometime soon. There. So let me flip these chests around, make sure they're not going. A little bit of molding or something right there. Just kind of catching some. I'm gonna take a file to it real quick. It's like the crossbones. Is that a? Do they have a master? They don't have a master grade of that one, do they? I was thinking of the full cloth. All right, let's try this again. So these. Interesting. I've not seen the FX either. Trying to find a way, make sure I line it up the right way here. All right. And it is stressing a little bit right there on that section of the pit, so I want to make sure I don't force it too hard in there. Yeah, I can get that thing to catch a little bit. Yeah, I will. I'll have to double check it and make sure what they had online. Oh, well, I dropped that part. I'll have to come back to it. Alrighty. So that's sticking out quite a bit here. So pop that down. That's sticking out. I'm going to go ahead and build up this section right here. And I'm not 100% sure that fits in there. Yeah, I was going to say I have to swing over one day to just double check to see how it is, how it's looking. Interesting. So this piece is not there yet. That's for the head. I don't know how that got over there, but it is a poly cap right there. The next section, double ball joint, and the backside is hollow. All right, I need to look for that part that I dropped. I'll come back to it. I'm not seeing it right away, and I'm not going to make anyone wait for that. So that is essentially the chest. I will have to find the other vent that I dropped on the floor for that chest section, but not too bad. That is the ball right there. So the polycap ball joint connection that slides into the chest. It is a little tight, but it does move side to side some. You built 7 of the Freedom kits? Nice. All right, so we'll go ahead and move into the head section next. Yeah, it might have gone into the void. I'm hoping not. It should be it should be relatively easy to find. I'm hoping at least. All right, so I am going to use the stickers for the eyes. That is the only exception for those today. And everything else is not going to go on for the decals just because it doesn't match up. All right, let's take a look and see. So you do have the option for the reflective backers on this instead if you'd prefer going that route. And trying to. So the picture they had on this for display, the eyes are really, really odd. So I'm hoping it's not too bad. I can line it up on that way, but all right, that doesn't look too bad. Yes. Uh, all right, so let's go ahead and add this on now to this section that was already out there. All right. Make sure I have that all lined up. I'm just trying to. Sorry, I'm getting really quiet on you guys. I'm trying to focus on that, make sure I get all the right spots. All right. And next is the tiny little mouth guard. I'm not sure how many freedoms I've built now. 4, 5 maybe? Well, I have 7, but I've built a few different variants, color variants, clear, stuff like that, but this is the first time doing, I think, a bootleg of a freedom, though. I don't know. What do you guys think? I should add the camera scopes on there, the blue from the camera scopes. Think I should add that or no? All right. So let's see. That is actually. Go ahead and put in the angled back. I will say this one's fitting a lot better than the last Gundam fighter I've built. Oh, that thing was a nightmare. I actually did not put it on here because it was bad. But oh, I was talking about how cold it was and everything. I just they're calling for a 2-hour delay from my son's school. That tells you how cold it's getting. Oh, come on. Sorry about that. It kicked me out of my kicked me out of my streaming service. All right. Man, it is not being friendly today. They keep. All right. The metallic markers instead. All right, I'll keep them off and see what I have. I don't know what metallic markers I actually have, but and can't get this thing to line up. Make sure that I am doing it right. Yep. All right, now that I got that in there, it takes just a second to get these things finagled the right way. So then we'll go ahead and move into the V fin and try to get this in locked in. This has always been my least favorite part about these Freedoms is the head section or the double V fin. For that reason right there, I tend to typically lose it after a while. So all right. So what I'm trying to do is make sure this lines up because it's a right angle. There's only a certain specific angle that it goes in. If it doesn't go in that angle, then it does not want to line up and nothing will fit. So sometimes it might be easier to go no, it's not going to work that one. Try not to stress the plastic too much on that. All right. Man, it does not want to line up. It's probably me. More operator error than it is than model itself. I just can't get the stupid thing to line up the way I want it to go. Or the way it should go. Honestly, I have this issue on the standard Bandai Freedoms as well, so. Alright. There you go. Hey, that might be a good option to do, honestly. I'm take my tweezers and I'm shoving it in there. Oh man, they're ruthless tonight. They keep calling, which kicks me out of my streaming service too. All right, so that is finally in. I had to use the tweezers to help push it in. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Apparently, they just want to keep going. Even though I have text from them, I have everything else, and then they still continue to call too. All right. I think. Oh. Even more. Jeez. And I just launched that piece across the side. I do have to go find that one. 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, well, it is not the knife for me in parts, apparently. So that is one more down. Who's keeping count? Where are we at right now? Okay, all right, so we are down a small section and then also the other one. Oh, man, it's a rough night. Tough, tough crowd, tough crowd. Nah, actually, you guys have been awesome. All right, so I will have to track that tiny, tiny piece down as well. It launched somewhere, and I have no clue where it went. Um, yeah. Oh, oh, three's a good guess. It's only two right now, but we're getting that way. Don't jinx me. All right. Oh man. So, all right, we're moving on to the arm and shoulder. I will have to track these pieces down for later but it's gonna be fun digging for all this stuff. Not or not. I shouldn't say digging. It's not digging, but trying to track everything down. I'm hoping after the I don't know 10th phone call, they're done calling me to let me know that my son has a 2 hour delay. Oh, that's a first for me on that one too. So it's a night for all kinds of firsts. Not great first, but first nonetheless. All right. All right, so we got to put the poly cap on next. And so part of my issue is I also have lotion on my hands, and that is not great. I just bathed my daughter right before building, so I'm launching pieces. And it doesn't help that it doesn't quite fit on these things, if you know what I'm saying. It's slightly off, just enough that I have to use some force, and when I use some force, well, then I projectile them. So I'm going to sand this up just a hair around the poly caps. I imagine it won't be that big of a deal, but yeah, just a little bit of force on that. I don't think it's so much as it is. It just barely doesn't want to fit. There we go. Just a hair is what I took off of that. Not much of anything. And then, so next we have my thruster here. And it looks like it does face up on that section. So pink thruster down here underneath the shoulder. This is both, I'm sorry, I said arm. So this is actually just the shoulders, shoulder pads on this. Again, the plastic quality on this kit is solid. It's like middle of the pack. I've definitely dealt with worse and I've dealt with better. Everything is a little snug putting it together, but you know, it feels good. The plastic feels solid. And then I can't really ask for too much more. I think this was less than $9 even when I picked it up on AliExpress. And here they are calling again. Wow. Okay. So here is the shoulders. Go ahead and build those up. Add this section on. Fits in there nice and pretty good on this. I'm sorry, guys. This thing. They apparently really want me to know my son has a 2 hour delay tomorrow. Yes. All right, let's see if I can get away with not sanding this poly cap down to get the shoulder in. All right. So go ahead and put the other thruster in. Sandwich the sides together. Do kind of hang tight there, but yeah, just a little bit extra. They are snug when you work them together, but they do fit pretty good. Oh yeah, yep. I mean, that's what this one's based out of, and very much the same thing. There is a lot of color needed on that. There we go. So there's the two shoulders on that. Go ahead and throw them on. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say the plastic definitely. It feels definitely on the chintzier side, just a little bit. Wish it. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It just feels a little bit on the thin kind of. Not the best quality in the world, but not too bad. Um, and here they are again. All right, so go ahead and move into the arm here. You didn't notice I actually upgraded. I don't use Dixie cups anymore, guys. I found this nice parts are the a tool divider, so I use that from now on. It is nice. I don't have to transfer things over from my other kit into this one now. So, all right. So next we are building up one of the arms, the right arm, I believe, and double joint bend in that. Thanks. I know, right? I'll take what I can get. Hey, I honestly the transferred over because what I would do is I had a separate divider for that, and I transferred over before the live stream, and that saved me probably about 15 minutes. I'm not gonna argue with that. That's one less thing I had to do. All right, so we got that on. Go ahead and connect the other piece. Everything is lining up solid, though. Honestly, it takes maybe a little bit extra force sometimes to push it in, but everything is lining up. Like I said, the last fighter, I'm gonna put that in air parentheses. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. My kids are absolutely in love with it because it has a motion sensor. It kicks on, um, and I have it where it's set up right now. You walk in the door, and it kicks on as soon as when you walk in the door, as it should be, by the way. All the models should be on display. As soon as you walk in the door, just walk into perfection and the beauty. My wife may not agree with me on that one. I've also tried to use them as centerpieces at tables, and it just doesn't. She doesn't see it. I guess I don't know, but yeah, so I appreciate that, dude. I was excited. I got that off of Amazon for, I think, right after Christmas. All right, so slide this down on. Make sure. Let me flip that around, actually. I feel like it should be. Yeah, I was out of space. I think I've mentioned that a few times where I'm like, I've had models just kind of like hanging out and I'm out of space. So it was needed. Now I can get back to building some master grades too, because right at that point I was just keeping up with high grades, and I have a few kits off the side that I definitely want to build and review, but I wouldn't do that until I felt that they would be safe. I have a Impulse EX that I've been holding on to off the side here. it's been calling my name for a while, but I refuse to do it because I definitely don't want it to be broken. All right. So here is one arm moving in. Popping into place. And here we go. Little loose in that joint right there at the wrist of the ball joint. Just because there's really nothing. I mean, that inner frame is holding it together, but All right. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. And the other arm here. Oh yeah, I've had it for a minute, and it's been in the backlog. Picked it up off of I think it was P Bandai. It might have been during one of the convention releases, but yeah, which I love seed kits. I really do. I think as far as building, they're some of my favorite to build just because of how well it builds out, and usually the mechanics are nice in it too. So, or for master grades, high grades that can be all right, but yeah, if I could, I would send it to you, man. Help you fill your collection out. All right. Well, if I had an extra one, I should say. Let me rephrase that. If I had an extra one, I would send it to you. But I haven't seen any more for a minute. So, all right, let's go and put this on right here. Yes, yeah. The Blanche, yes. That is the one I actually keep at my office. I have the. I wouldn't mind picking up the R type, with the pink and everything like that, but um, just kind of finish out the set for those two. I think the real grade was online not that long ago, but I want the master grade in that. All right, so there's the other arm built up. Yeah, there's one in my area that's like on sale and buy sell trade, but the guy wants like 140 for it, and I'm like, I am not paying 140. All right, so let's get this on. Just the back side of the hand right there and sandwiched together. But it's definitely being, if that is the right one, tight again. All right. But that's not your Grail kit, is it? I thought you had something else you wanted. I know you wanted the Gundam Mark V, I think, which was online. There we go. Oh, this needs to flip around here. Make sure that lines up. Yeah, that needs to be this way here. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. That was a bit excessive. I was like, 140 is a little too much on that. All right, I guess that is the way it goes. So let's go ahead and work that on. And there is the other hand on that one. Yeah, I seen that. I was, because when I sent it to you, I noticed the price was relatively high on that, and I'm like, I thought, what was it, a $20 jump? At least a 10, but I thought it was $20. And kills me when they do that. Alright, so next up, we are getting into the leg section on this kit. And we have, make sure we got the right thing here. Alright. Yeah, I was like, man, a $20 jump in that? And honestly, they probably didn't print extra. They didn't probably do any more. They probably had those still around there. It's been sitting for a while. It's not, I don't know. Disappointing to say the least on the price hike on that. All right, so we're going to work the polycaps in here on the legs. One upper section, one lower section. And again, just a little tight. They still fit, everything fits, but you got to give it a little bit extra force. Yeah, yeah, that's what I can't stand that because I'm like they set for a while, they didn't do anything, and you're gonna hike the price up. I do like some things that P Bandai USA. They shot another piece, dude. Okay, what is that now, Hunter? That's what, three? Oh man. I have no clue where that went to, and unfortunately, that is. I might, I might call it a night, guys. This is rough for me tonight, man. Oh man, yeah, I have no clue where that went to. Oh, jeez, tough, tough one tonight. Yeah, I have no clue where that one went to. I don't. Yeah, you might have jinxed me on that one. Oh, please stay tuned for this brief intermission. Do 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 do. Hang on. On a side note, I did find one of the pieces, just not the one that I'm currently looking for. No more lotion. Yeah, yeah, no joke on that one. I'll tell my daughter, I'm sorry, man. You're out of luck. This is what I get for being trying to help my kids out, right? Oh man. Yeah. This, all right. Well, the real question is, do I have any extra polycaps around here I could harvest? Let me go back to. Nope, I used all those ones. Yeah, I have legit. I'm not seeing that one. It is that one might have really went to the void. Yeah, I think I am gonna call it tonight, guys. I am so sorry. This is not paying out the way it's supposed to be going. Yeah, I, I will try to finish this up and then get the review up for it. I apologize in advance. So I will have the review up for this kit. I will have to find some parts. I know I have the polycap for that, and then I got to track down the other section. Unfortunately, I can't build too much further into it without at least a polycap for that leg. So, Man, that is a first though. It is the first time that I've had to end the stream early because I've actually lost a part and can't find it. So I guess so. Anyways, thanks for watching.